Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back, students. So today we are going to start your book 6 of science, okay, and it is on page number 35. See students, there has been a mistake because it's not the first page. This is the first page, so you can write here as 34 and it will be 35, okay. And our chapter is soil, okay. So soil is very important to all living organisms, that as we know it is made up of various components, okay. So soil is something that is very important for us, for every living organism, and it is made up of various components. So there is our picture and we have to write the various components, okay. So the bottom most is the gravel, then we have this one is the stone, sorry, and this is the sand, these are the clay particles, this is water, and this is humus. So soil is made of gravel, sand, clay particles, water, and humus. Humus is the dead plants and animals, their remains is basically humus. So besides these, that means apart from these, soil also contains air, minerals, and some tiny organisms such as bacteria and fungi. So let's learn about soil in this chapter, okay. Soil, as we know, it is the uppermost layer of the earth crust. It is one of the most valuable natural resource. The natural resource is that resource that we get from nature that we can't make. It is needed for the growth of plants, okay. So many animals such as these earthworms, these insects, they all live in the soil. So the question is, how is soil formed? Okay, so soil is formed by the process of weathering. So the first question arises that what is weathering? So weathering is a process in which the big rocks, they get broken down by the action of wind or the action of water, by the change in temperature. The reason can be any, or the penetrating roots of plants. So when there is action of wind or there is change in temperature, so what happens, the big rocks, they get broken down into smaller particles, smaller ones. So this stage, this is not the first stage, it takes many stages, many steps to soil formation. The first one is the stage 1, that is a parent rock. It is a big rock that gets broken down into small pieces. Right now we are having soil, these rocks, but in small pieces. But sand is not there right now, that means soil is not there. So soil is also broken down by plants, animals. Then rocks further undergo weathering to form very fine rock particles, okay. When those rock particles, they get broken down to smaller ones, then rocks undergo some more weathering with time, and then very fine particles, rock particles, are formed. We can say that the soil is forming. So plants and animal remains also broke down by the action of bacteria and microorganisms to form nutrient material called humus, that we learned here. So what does humus does? Humus makes the soil very fertile and it is very suitable for the plant growth, okay. So what does humus do? It makes the soil fertile and it is important for plant growth. And the final stage is the addition of minerals and salts occur at this stage, because when the dead plants, the animals, they get broken down and they get mixed with the soil, so their nutrients, their salts, they get added to the soil, okay. Now we have the factors that affect the soil formation. So soil formation take millions of years. It is not like the rock is broken down today and the soil will form tomorrow. No, it's taking so much of time, many millions of years it takes. Formation of soil depends on many factors, like the what is the type of the parent rock, what is the climate, the micro living organisms that are present there, okay. So the type and characteristics of parent rock, okay. The rate of soil formation may vary depending on the constituents, right. If the parent rock is very hard, that means the soil formation will take a long time. And if the parent rock is porous, that means semi solid, it's not very hard, so the soil formation is faster. Then we have the climate. So formation of soil takes place due to changes in climate. The rocks expand and contract due to heating and cooling, which causes breakdown of rocks to form soil. This is known as weathering of rocks. Then the water, then the wind, then the rainfall, then temperature, that also brings changes in the soil structure. Now the third one was the presence of microorganisms. These are the factors, right? So living organisms play an important role in speeding up the formation of soil, okay. Roots of plants penetrate into the soil and it helps in the weathering of rock animals such as ants, earthworms, rats, snakes, insects, they dig the soil extensively. Dead plants and animals are decomposed by the microorganisms. So the dead plants, they are decomposed in the soil with the help of microorganisms, that is adding nutrients to the soil, as I already told you there. So this helps in mixing organic matter in the soil. Okay, now this was about the soil, the formation, the 3 stages and the factors, and the type of characteristics of parent rock, that's dependent. Okay, then we have the climate, this all the factors we have discussed here. Now we have the soil profile. Soil is arranged in layers that differ in color, texture and chemical composition. So that means the soil is not uniform all over. It changes in color, in texture, in chemical composition as well. The soil profile refers to these layers of the soil. So each layer is called a horizon. So here we can say that soil has 4 horizons: horizon A, B, C and D. Now the first horizon A is the uppermost layer, that is the topmost layer, and it is known as topsoil. So this layer is rich in humus and is very dark, soft and porous. Plant roots are seen in this soil. So it is the uppermost layer. This is a layer which provides nutrients to the plants. It can absorb and retain water. Then we have the horizon B. It is a layer just below the horizon. So the layer below the horizon A is the horizon B, and it is also known as subsoil. Okay, so the horizon A was known as the topsoil, so it is the subsoil. So this layer is rich in minerals and is normally hard and compact. So plant roots may extend into this layer. There are chances that the roots of the plant, they can extend to this layer. It's not necessary, but they can extend to this layer. Basically they are in the horizon A. Then we have the horizon C. It is a layer just below the horizon B. This layer is partially weathered rocks with a lot of cracks and surfaces. Okay, then we have the horizon D. It is the lowest layer in the soil profile and is also known as a bedrock. Okay, so this layer is full of hard rocks and it's difficult to dig beyond this layer, so we can't dig beyond this layer. Okay, and that's all for today.